Hello everybody, this is AstroQueen
And I'm Angel Love.
and welcome to podcast number 5 of the Astro Love podcast.
Yay.
Do you know what, yeah? We I have to be honest. So AstroQueen, Angel Love and I, we were like trying to figure out how to orientate and organize today's topic because we're feeling the post shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. Mercury just went direct the other day, actually, on the 15th. I think.
Yesterday, isn't
Yesterday.
it? Yeah.
And I'm still feeling it.
Yeah.
Too
And
much
then
confusion.
We're in the shadow phase of the Mercury and Venus.
And
And then Jupiter's in retrograde.
Yeah.
Saturn's in retrograde. So I think we're just feeling it
We're
right now.
feeling it. We haven't felt this confused about our topics before. So anyways, hopefully today will just sound okay for you guys and we're going to be able to make some sense about what it is that we're trying to present.
Exactly. Hopefully you understand what we're saying. I'm sure you'll get it in the end.
Fingers crossed. So just to kind of like, for those new listeners, we are a podcast where, you know, it's a dual situation where Angel Love and I, we talk about astrology and we explore symbols and archetypes and how we kind of relate all of that into our day-to-day lives. We also delve into transpersonal psychology, where we aim to bridge the gap between science and spirituality, and just have conversations that help inform and enlighten and support understanding and healing ultimately. So yes, welcome everyone. Just to quickly say that today's podcast, we're going to tap into the Libra season, which is upon us very soon. We'll talk a little bit about what that means for us. And then we'll tap into some other astrological aspects that hopefully will be of interest to you. But Angel Love, before we proceed, I've got a quote here, which I thought would be quite fitting for the topic today, which is centered around like.
And before you do your quote, let's just say today's the 16th.
Oh, thank you.
16th of September, and the time is 3:30.
Thank you for the Virgo information. Angel Love is a Virgo, and I'm a Pisces. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the quote, the quote for today, and then I'll pull out a card. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So, balance is the key in everything you do. Dance all night long and practice yoga the next day. Drink wine, but don't forget to green juice. Eat chocolate when your heart wants it and kale salad when your body needs it. Wear high heels on Saturday and walk barefoot on Sunday. Live high and low, move and stay still. Embrace all sides of who you are. Be brave, bold, spontaneous and loud, and let that complement your abilities to find silence, patience, modesty and peace. Aim for balance. Make your own rules and follow your own path, and don't let anybody tell you how to live and according to theirs. And unfortunately there's no author for this, but I thought it was really nice.
I love that. That's really fitting for Libra season. How to, wear heels on Saturday and no shoes on Sunday. That is me. After wearing heels on Saturday, I'm literally, I can't wear anything else. So yeah, that just fits perfectly.
Yay! So I don't know. For some reason, I hear myself quite loud. Let me turn me down a little bit. But yeah, another thing we wanted to do was pull out a card for today's energy.
Yes, go ahead. You do that. And while you're doing that, I'll let everyone know what pack that we're using. So we are using the Wisdom of the Oracle divination cards.
I love this deck.
Yeah,
I know
I've
you
got this deck as well, so I do.
This deck is powerful. There was a period where I was just using it every single day. My partner and I, we were kind of obsessed. Now the obsession is kind of gone, and I just value it. I use it when I feel like I need some oracle wisdom.
Yeah.
So, Oracle, what is the energy for today? You pull out.
Okay, and the energy for today is... let's do it. I just ended up back at the same card. And it's Between Worlds.
Between Worlds.
Okay. So that's a number 3.
Number 3.
And, it's... the picture is... I'll describe it. So it's like a kind of like a clouds. It's the sea. And there's clouds. And then... the sky, and then there's the same picture So one side's kind of grey and the other side's green, and there's a flamingo in between. So the half of the flamingo is grey and half is like an orangey colour. So it says between worlds. So I guess we're in the middle.
We're in the middle of
balance.
Yeah.
We're kind of in the middle.
We're in the middle.
So what's the meaning between this card?
Okay. So the meaning is to do with transitioning.
Okay.
So not being quite out of one situation, but fully engaged in another. There's temporary blindness. It's like a card of no man's land.
Okay.
And I feel like this number is
number 3.
But this card is associated with the number 7.
Okay.
In numerology.
Okay.
Which is to do with being somewhat. The situation is obscure. There's no real clarity. But that doesn't mean you're not heading there. You're probably heading in the right direction, but there's some blindness. And like it says here, you're entering a situation of no man's land. So yeah, process of transitioning, whatever that might look like for you. Does that resonate for you?
Well, we are transitioning now from Virgo to Libra, kind of like we're in that kind of space.
Good point.
We're transitioning from the Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde, even though we're in the shadow phase. It's kind of like a transition back to going back to a normal phase with those planets. So yeah, that definitely feels like that. I mean, in my life, I guess I'm back to September is like back to college, kind of back to school era, like time, I should say. Coming out from the Virgo season, I guess it was kind of like out of school. It's like that I analyze, like analyzing yourself. For me, I was like getting to know me more, deeper, learning about what I needed to do. And now I'm coming back into this phase of kind of learning about the topics I have to do for college, like to pass my course and stuff like that. So I'm doing a counselling course, just in case you don't know.
We're gonna have a qualified counsellor here very soon.
So yeah, so it's a lot of work on yourself. So I guess I'm in a transitional stage because I'm learning more deeper about myself and you know why I do the things I do and where it stems from, whether it's childhood and how to release some of those things as well, which is very important. So yeah, I guess I'm in that transitional stage.
That makes
for
sense.
myself. Yeah, like I'm changing.
Yeah.
I'm changing, but I'm not fully changed.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to relate this into my life as well. For me, I feel like there is some transitioning, but it's more centered around planning. Okay, so I need to make this make sense.
This is a transition.
Yeah, so today, exactly. All right, cool. Today, practically, we did the Virgo thing and we changed my room around in order to accommodate my baby's sleeping situation. It's not finished yet, but we've started the process. So that's definitely a transition for sure.
Exactly.
But see, I was trying to think of a more deeper thing. But I suppose the other thing that's based around transitioning is that my partner and I are starting to think about what our future is going to look like now.
Yeah.
Practically, where we're going to live, what I want to be doing in terms of my future goals, how that kind of links in with what he wants to do. And we're both feeling a little bit like, what's our future going to look like? And
so you're kind of in no man's land at the moment.
Exactly. This is it. Exactly. So we were meant to have another conversation about it last night, but I was tired.
Yeah.
We just kind of fell asleep, but it's coming. And it's interesting because before now I felt very hesitant about talking about, you know, these really big decisions, and I would shy away from those conversations, whereas now I feel like it's the time. Especially with Virgo season, you can't help but plan and structurize, you know, your life in some way, shape or form, and I feel like that's definitely, it's sitting on me. It's like it's lingering on my mind. We need to have conversations and we need to start writing down and making it very clear, because right now our future is obscure. It's blurry.
Exactly.
Oh my god, this deck is fire. This deck is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so talking of balance and Libra season and whatnot, we're going to talk about a little bit about what Libra energy represents, but I think it's really important to note that we are still in Virgo season.
Yep, we are,
until the 23rd of September, and we spoke in more depth about Virgo energy in our last podcast. So if you haven't heard that, please make reference to that. Go ahead and listen to that. But yeah, currently the moon is in Libra, which is, I feel like we've done a podcast during the moon in Libra before, and I remember it being really nice, like, because Libra energy is to do with collaboration. It was probably one of our first or second. It was in here.
Maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, so I feel like this is our second time. But anyway, so the moon is in Libra, and what else? The moon, Mars is also in Libra, and the moon is also conjuncting Mars. So just to go back, the moon being in Libra, so the moon goes into a new sign every 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So the moon literally just left Virgo. We just had a new moon in Virgo.
Yeah.
Again, we speak about that in our last podcast. And then the moon entered Libra yesterday around 6:30. So basically, this is about our emotional landscape and how it's marked around the need for harmony and balance.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So she will stay in Libra until tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. But this is all about social engagement. This is where we want to spend more time with socializing with our friends and our families, and this is where diplomacy and fairness really becomes a prominent theme in the 2.5 days that the moon is transiting through Libra. And it's also about aesthetics and art and finding pleasure in how things look in terms of beauty, in terms of its beauty, and finding joy in like creative pursuits and things like that. Mars in Libra doesn't like conflict. In fact, it loves and enjoys collaboration. So if there was conflict in the recent past, then this is a good time to kind of close that. Find ways in which you can, both of you or a group of you, whoever you're kind of having conflict with, you can find some peace and some some solace and strengthen your bond where possible, because this is all about fairness. Did I cover that? Basically, the moon in Libra. Yeah. And then we have Mars in Libra. So Mars entered Libra on August the 15th, and will stay in Libra for about 6 to 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So before Mars goes into Scorpio. But this is again all about, Mars is to do with passion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Passion and
taking action.
Yeah.
Going forth with your dreams, energy. I guess with the Libra, it being in Libra, it's more of diplomacy. And I guess if you got Mars in Libra, which I do, so you can take action, but you probably need like a group of friends or kind of collaboration. You do it in collaboration. If you have Mars in, you may find that you work better in collaboration. I find that I do. Yeah. With my Mars in Libra, as it's not as strong as it is in other placements. So you'll find that maybe you don't find it as assertive as you need it to be at times. You may not feel that kind of hunger that someone who has Mars in Aries,
where he's at home.
Exactly, like they're fire starters. Whereas you in Libra, I guess it's got a more laid back approach,
more
gentle. It's more like friendly. It's kind of nice. I guess when you want to start something or be first, you need that Aries energy.
Yeah.
And with it being in Libra at the moment, it's not that. That's not the type of Mars you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the energy of the Mars in Libra. It's more harmonious. It doesn't mean you can't take action and do stuff, but it's going to be at a slower pace.
Yeah.
It's going to be if you're doing something where it's cutthroat, this is not, Mars in Libra is not the one.
Yeah.
You need to find someone with Mars in Aries to be with you. To kind of be the good guy, good cop, bad cop type situation. To find that way of being to learn from. It doesn't mean if you got Mars in Libra you can't be that type of person. You can learn from someone. But it's not naturally you. It's not your natural state of being. So I think having that Mars in Libra, definitely don't like to be in conflict, want everything to be harmonious. It never is. You always want to find ways of dealing with things, keeping people happy. Not necessarily, I mean, the flip side to that could be like sitting on the fence, you know, like in a shadow way, indecisive.
Well. Yeah.
So you don't want to be like that. So then you never get anything done if you're indecisive. Like, oh, I could do it this way, or maybe I'll do it that way.
Yeah.
But you know, there's kind of like a kind of fear of going forwards.
Yeah.
I guess there's like that holding you back.
Yeah.
Kind of when you really look into it, there's a fear there.
Yeah.
Stopping you going forward and being that kind of direct. Maybe you don't feel like it's you.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone and actually have like a mentor, someone that has Mars in Libra, see how they operate, and kind of use that and kind of step forward, just dip your toe in and see how it feels. It's going to feel really awkward, but that's how it is sometimes, you know. And I guess Mars in Libra doesn't want to offend anyone, doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, where Aries one, it could be definitely cutthroat. With Mars in Libra, they're going to be kind, supportive, keeping everything with harmony and balance
and fair.
Yeah, and fairness. Exactly, they like to be fair. So that's a really good thing. But then, in saying that, I think Hitler had Mars in Libra, so I guess maybe in his mind he was fair and balanced.
Fair. Yeah,
you know, he thought, well, these people, so it can go another way.
Yeah,
if it's not used correctly.
Yeah,
you know, that's the shadow side of it, where it's like, well, no, maybe, you know, he looked at that his people, it wasn't fair on them. So he was trying to create the balance and fairness.
Yeah,
and his eyes were just looking at one viewpoint. He didn't see anything else.
Yeah, and I suppose that's where we probably would have had to look at his Jupiter and what his philosophies and his beliefs were, and how that was kind of pushed on the world through his Mars in Libra.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think you made a good point about, you know, you saying collaboration, you work well in collaboration. So when Mars is in Libra, which he currently is, collaboration becomes much more of the focal point.
Yeah.
And so relationships focus on seeking harmony and working together and collaborating. But also when you're angry and pissed off, you got to watch out for how you assert yourself, because
the release of that, being able to release your anger and finding ways of doing that. There's different ways.
Yeah, because you might articulate yourself very well during this time, but if you're hurt, the Mars will really express itself, because it's, at the end of the day, it's still aggressive. It's just the way it might come out. It won't be as fiery as the fire that it has when Mars is in Aries or when Mars is in Scorpio.
Yeah, you'll feel the pinch of that.
You feel the pinch.
And I guess with the Mars in Libra, it's a way that it might build up.
Yeah.
So it might even come out worse than Aries and Scorpio, because you kept it in for so long, any, you know, hurt or anger that you have. So you have to find ways of expressing that Martian energy within you, whether it's communicating it straight away, going to the gym, boxing, doing something to release that energy.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then another transit I wanted to tap into was the Moon Mars conjunction, which is currently happening right now. So until tomorrow, because the moon moves very fast, but during this time we feel very brave, we're eager to pursue our passions, we become more attractive, because Mars is all about attraction, isn't it? But sexual attraction. We may also be impatient and easily agitated, because again it's Mars. But again, you mentioned about sports being a good way to kind of release any tension you might be feeling, and also just be cautious of any impulsive behavior that could lead to accidents, because Mars is connected to blood and wounds and things like that, because Mars is the warrior. He likes to fight.
So I guess with that one, think before you act.
Think before you act. And also because the planets, both the moon and Mars, are in Libra, it's very airy energy. So it is about the mind, it is about thinking. Okay. So moving on from that, I think it's important for us to elaborate a little bit more about what Libra season or Libra energy is. So Libra season actually starts around the 23rd of September. And the qualities of Libra energy it's to do with balance, fairness, and the pursuit of peace and collaboration. So when I think about Libra, I instantly think about the scales. And actually Libra is the only sign where it's represented by an object. All the other signs correct me if I'm wrong.
Animals or a person.
Exactly, animals or a person. Like, for example, Virgo is what is the maiden, isn't it?
The virgin,
The virgin. Scorpio is the scorpion. Pisces is the two fish, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, Libra is to do with the scales, and already we can instantly see its connection with balance. We use scales to balance, and to basically be able to observe a harmony in whatever it is that we're trying to seek balance with. And yes, so
it's an air sign, so it's intellect,
it's
communication,
social,
very social. And I guess it's ruled by Venus, so there's the love of beauty and I guess some money there in there, creativity, being fair, justice, law and order.
Exactly. And the scales symbol draws its inspiration from the scales of justice, which was held by the goddess Themis. So, you know, sometimes you must have seen her along the line of along the course of your life, where she's holding a scale. You see her in statue form. She's holding a scale. Sometimes she appears blind as well, blindfolded. But that's Themis, the ancient Greek embodiment of divine law and tradition. So Themis served as the model of contemporary depictions of Lady Justice, and the energy, I suppose, the Libra energy is ruled by Venus, and Venus also rules Taurus as well. So, what did I miss out on anything?
No, I'm just looking at your card deck.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, because she's holding the scales.
Oh, that is so bizarre.
Yeah, holding the scales.
Very cunning.
Wisdom of the Oracle, holding the scales, so it just fits in. This is how it works.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, this is how it works. And sometimes you don't even notice it. You just got to really look. I've just noticed it now.
Yeah.
That the picture on the front is the holding of the scales, the balance.
Yeah. Wow. So actually, that now leads me on to saying, first of all, synchronicity. I find that the more we work on in divination and we apply it into our lives, the closer our synchronicity gets.
Yeah.
And the closer, it's almost like, I don't know, the universe tries to talk to you in every single way possible, because you're so connected. So it's easier to see. So thank you for that, because that just reminded me of, like, oh my god, I actually literally pulled it out randomly earlier.
Yeah,
we've been speaking about pulling out a deck or a card for ages, and today seems to be the day. And
exactly, the more you use divination and learn the different languages, the more you'll be able to understand, the more you will see. If you're not, you may miss things. Someone could say something to you and it can go over your head, and actually that's the message that I needed. Like the other day, I just sent my friend a WhatsApp message, a video of someone that won TED Talks, I think it was, or speaking challenge, Toastmasters or something like that. He won it, and I thought it was so good the way he did it. So I sent it to her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so spiritual." What do you mean? Why did you send me that? I goes, "Oh, I thought it was really good. You'd like it." And she said she was just saying to herself, "Why aren't I doing more speaking engagements?"
No. Yeah. That gave me goosebumps in my head. Stop it.
So I was like, yeah, okay.
That
there
is
you go.
Amazing.
Yeah,
so you tapped into her. Yes, that was amazing. And see, these things happen all the time, and they never fail to amaze me.
Yeah.
And and when I see those, I always feel like I'm so glad that the more frequent I get those those events, the more it reminds me of how well I'm doing and connecting with the universe. Yeah. Because sometimes I fall off. Sometimes I get so preoccupied by the mundane stuff, like busy with work and family life, that I don't, the stuff that I love, which is divination, astrology and whatnot, gets put to the side, and I don't feel so connected. But when I am connecting, I know the universe tells me, because I see it. Yeah. And even if it came to you telling me about this, like, you're making me see it. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. And I guess with life, it's about being in the eye of the storm, not being in it, but being in the middle, seeing everything twist around, and you just being able to center yourself and find the answers that you need, rather than be rushed around and being all stressed. And I guess with this Libra season, we are talking about balance, and one of those things is Maat, which we thought about as well for Libra season. And Maat comes from the Egyptian history. Maat is the female goddess, and her principles were truth, justice, morality, and harmony. And I guess that's what the word Maat kind of means, if they were gonna encompass it. So truth, order, justice, morality, and harmony. And as you spoke before earlier about the feather and the heart, weighing of the feather and the heart, that is part of that. And I guess with Maat, the pillars of Maat, it's truth. So it's central to Maat was to pursue the truth in thought, word, and action. So we have to be, I guess, looking at that is about us being truthful to ourselves, having the words to speak honestly about our truth, and actioning our truth. So being about who we say we are, being real, just not being scared to say, I'm this is me, and don't worry about what anyone else says, and being honest and having integrity. And justice is being fair and treating everyone with fairness, because we want to be treated, we want people to treat us with kindness, so we need to give it out first, and be the first, and treat ourselves kindly as well. I think that's the first thing. Like sometimes we will say, oh, treat everyone else, but what about you? It starts with you. Do you treat yourself kindly? Because if you haven't got it, then why are you going to be kind of treating everyone else kindly and not yourself? So you have to treat yourself kindly. And balance. Egyptians believed that maintaining harmony and equilibrium in all aspects of life, including the cosmos, society, and the individual, was crucial. So it's bringing the balance of, I guess, what we do, astrology, divination, our work life, numerology, everything, bringing it all in together, and just maintaining the balance, keeping ourselves healthy, keeping order. So it's essential for our proper functioning. So having time, structure, orderly. They say what is the saying? A clean house, a tidy home, tidy mind, kind of thing that brings to mind about Maat and harmony and relationships and nature, and being one with nature, being one with your partner, being one with your family, being one with your friend, finding some harmony between the people that are closest to you. And it may not be your family, but it could be people that you call family, and it could be anyone where you find that. So that was kind of the way I wanted to bring Maat into Libra season, not into a deep level, but just looking at that as a way of looking at harmony and balance within the Libra system. I mean, there are 42 laws of Maat. I don't know. I don't think we should go through them.
We shouldn't go. No.
We'll be here forever.
But I think what's really interesting, you brought up because before we started the podcast, we spoke about Maat a little bit, and so Maat she's often depicted as a goddess with her wings. She's holding a feather, and that represents truth. So she's holding a feather in one hand, and then she's holding the ankh that we've seen a lot throughout the years. I know you've worn ankhs as jewelry, and so have I. And also, basically, Orlando's gone. But the ankh is a symbol of life, and she holds it in the other hand. So she's very, like I said, very closely associated with truth and justice, and that is basically a physical depiction of her seeking or her representing balance and equilibrium. Another thing that I find really interesting is her role in the afterlife. Without going too deep, but Egyptian mythology is just beautiful and interesting. But she is connected to the afterlife. So when a person passes away, their heart is weighed against the feather of Maat on the scales of justice in the hall of Maat. And if the heart was as light as the feather, they were deemed as worthy to enter the afterlife. If not, their heart would then be devoured by the monstrous creature, and I forgot the name of the creature, but I think it's the crocodile
Okay, yeah.
In the hieroglyphics, you see the crocodile, and it's got its mouth like agape, ready to kind of take those who have sinned very heavily. So I just found that really interesting. But anyways, so also what I wanted to tap into, because we see this energy of Maat and Themis and balance and peace and whatnot, all throughout divination. But another form of divination is in the tarot deck. So the tarot deck, that particular energy is represented by the Justice card. Yeah. Where a figure is holding a sword in one hand and a scale in the other hand. And so this emphasizes the idea of balance and fairness. Yeah. And the scales represents the weighing of actions and decisions to ensure fairness and justice, while the sword symbolizes the cutting through of deception and illusion to reveal the truth. And what I found really interesting with that is the sword is connected to the mind. Yeah. And so that's quite cool. But yes, the Justice card is all about fairness and balance and legal matters. It also represents truth and honesty, consequences and clarity. So, and I think it's a major arcana. So in the tarot deck, you've got three types of cards. You've got the minor arcana, which basically represents like everyday lives. The major arcana, which basically depicts the main themes, major themes in your life. And then you've got the court cards, which I think symbolize more like the people that represent each card, or some of the cards. Like for example, the Knight of Swords would depict maybe like a 30-year-old man or something like that. Anyways, I don't want to talk like I know tarot like that. I really don't. But based on what I do know, this is my understanding. But yeah, I think it would be good before we close just to talk about how we can bring in balance and peace and harmony in our everyday lives from a practical perspective. Yeah. What would you say would be your advice as to how to do that?
So I would say find a good support system, because you need people to talk to. You need people that you can lean on, depend on. That'd be one way. Be reasonable. Be responsible for your actions. So I guess taking responsibility. Being able to take control of your life. So if you can't do something, don't do it. Don't stretch yourself. Okay. Like if you're at work and the boss is piling it on, you're going to have to have a meeting and say, well, actually, this isn't working for me. Being able to say no to people as well, whether you're friends, for your own self. You know, I think a lot of people don't like to say no, and it ends up draining them.
Yeah, it brings you out of balance when you don't say no.
Exactly. So I think learning the word no is not a bad thing. I think we just think it's a bad thing. I don't know why.
I've been saying no a lot more these days because I'm a bit of a people pleaser. Okay. So not like that. I think it meets more of my need to care for people. So I will easily say yeah. Yeah. But now I'm learning to be a bit more assertive with that, and I think the Mars in Libra is helping me do that.
Yeah. And focus on the here and now. So focus on today, what you can deal with. Don't stress too much. And also self-care. So resting when you can, doing something that's for you, whether it's a massage, lying in the bath with some candles. It could be something really simple, or there's a really good podcast called the Astroloves podcast that you like listen to, joking. But just something really nice that you like to do. Colouring in is really good. I've recently just got some books and some colours, and I've started colouring in. Just doing some of the stuff that I do for balance is inner child stuff, like going back to school when I was younger.
That's deep.
So whether it's colouring in, designing, even playing games like Connect 4, just chilling, like things that just allow me to chill.
Connect 4 is very like, it's two people, it's collaborative, it's duo, very Libra.
So those are kind of some what things. I've got more, but what about yourself? What do you do? Because you've got the baby as well.
I've got a baby.
It's probably mothers listening, like, want to know, what can you do to
Shout out to Orlando, my baby. What can I do? Well, as you were speaking, it made me think about just my inability to be collaborative very effectively in my personal romantic relationship. Because I'm so independent. So I think I'm getting better because my partner has, you know, shed light on where my weaknesses are, just like I do with him. That's how we grow. But I think I'm going to use Libra season to work on that, to learn on my collaboration, like just to be more conscious that decisions need to be made together, where it matters. Obviously, I can make my own decisions, and so can he, and we will respect it. But also we've got to bear in mind that we've got to think about the other person whilst we're making our own decisions. Things like that I need to work on. So I think I'm going to go into that kind of mode, and I'm looking forward to growing in that way. But yeah, from an everyday perspective, I think one thing I'm definitely going to do is voice. I think of work. Is voice when things are a little bit too heavy. I do feel like at the moment, and it's Virgo season, so we did mention it in our last podcast that we'll be a bit maybe busier and life would be a bit more hectic than normal. Just to say, like, I can't do this right now. Can we do it another time?
Yeah.
Like you just mentioned. What else could I be doing? I don't know. I think I want to do more creative stuff, like I'd like to go to a museum or go to, like, I don't know, somewhere fun where I could see some pleasure. I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, we should go to the British Museum, put Orlando in the pushchair.
Let's do it.
Let's go. He'll be fine. He'll be seeing all the stuff, and I haven't been there for ages.
Yeah,
so
I haven't been there for years.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys, about the sirens.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for years. So I'm down for that. But exactly, just, and, you know, and they've got the butterfly area as well. Which, you know, listen, that freaks me out, that place. I've never been inside because I get freaked out because I don't find butterflies beautiful close up.
Yeah.
It's much more like, oh, they're wonderful from afar. But I would love to kind of like really, I suppose, take in their beauty and like find a bravery, Mars in Libra, to go in there and just like embrace the beauty of the butterflies. Because that's part of it. So yeah, I think that's my kind of like quick on the spot reflection as to what I'd probably do. But yeah, was there anything else?
You know what? I think for this one, it's definitely just let's balance this out and kind of say leave it on that note of being balanced and finding tranquility in our lives. Not easy, and journaling's a way, and writing things down. You know, like if you don't like something, write it down. Kind of figure out what's going. Use your natal chart actually to find balance in your life as well. Look at those houses that have got planets. Which charts are you using? Which houses do you use? Like, are you using more your second house, third house? You need to use all parts of your chart. So that's a way to find balance in your life as well. So the home, whether it's your values, yourself, like your identity, you know, sleep time, career, you know, studying, communication. There's so many different things. Saving, you know, your finances. There's so many different areas of our life, but you can use your birth chart as like something to work from, to start off from. Just look at it and go, okay, write down in the areas, look at what's most important to you, look at things that you're not doing that you'd like to do, how can you implement them, you know, and use a crystal to give you that energy. So if you was doing finances, sorry about the noise, if you're doing finances, then you can use you can wear a crystal for that week to do with money. So you could use something like citrine, wear that, or just hold a piece of crystal and just have it so it can remind you. Use affirmations daily, mantras, or, you know, find something that you can watch on YouTube, you know, just different ways that you can do. We've got social media, there's so many different ways to get prompts. I'm always if I'm on Instagram, there's always these little videos that come up with someone talking about do this to manifest this, do this, say this to manifest that. It will happen in, not that it happened in 7 days. I think we should do a manifestation one on one of our next podcasts. Yeah, because some of these I'm listening to and I'm like, really? It's like they're trying to, it's like, I don't want to say con artist thing, but it's just
clickbait, man.
Yeah,
it's
some of it
clickbait.
is just like, come on, you're just gonna say this and it's just gonna happen.
But like you said earlier, there is an order to life, and there is an order to how you manifest. And sometimes how it is presented on social media, it's a little bit like, this is lacking in order.
Exactly, and if it was that easy, everyone would do it so quickly. But
Exactly.
there is power in the word. There is power in the word.
Yeah.
So your word is your bond. So there's power in your word. So once you say something, and you actually mean it, it can manifest.
Be careful what you wish for. So on that note, guys, we will end it there. Thank you so much for listening. Please stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and just follow us on our social medias, the Astrolove podcast. And also, just to add, we will have, moving forward, 2 podcasts coming out monthly, because we're ready to expand a little bit on that. So our next podcast is actually based on the cosmic news, what's going on in the heavens as we speak, where the moon is, whether, there's a full moon coming up, whether it's the equinox, whatever the case may be, whether Mars is still in Libra and what that means, or whether he's progressed into Scorpio and what that means. So we really delve into the forecast of astrology there. So please look out for that. That'll be coming out at the end of the month, probably around the 28th of September. Meanwhile, though, this is it. So I'm AstroQueen.
And I'm Angel Love.
And see you soon. Peace.